Hi everyone, today we'll talk about static keyword in Java. So static can be applied to both variables and methods. So let me explain what will happen when we make a variable or method as static. So when we make a variable or method as static, that variable or method will belong to the class and not to the instance of the class. So let me repeat it again. So when we make a variable or method as static, it is going to be part of the class and not the instance of a class. So let me now explain this using a Java code. So it will be much easier for you to understand. So let's say we have a class called cricket and we have two variables. One is run and another one is name. So that we have not made this integer into a static, nor did we make this string as static. So these variables are non-static. So now let me explain how things will work here. So if I create an object cricket player1 equal to new cricket. So this is going to create an object of the class cricket, and now I can use this object to access runs and name. Without this object I cannot access runs or I cannot access name. So let me create one more variable, uh, object. So this is another object. So now I have created two objects, p1 and p2. So this p1 will have separate run and name. This p2 will have separate runs and name. So this p1 will have its own runs and its own and its own name. So this is going to have runs and name, and p2 will have its own runs and its own name. Okay, so runs and name variable is created separate for p1 and separate for p2. So this will allow me to store runs of player 1 separately. Let's say he has scored 10 runs and his name is A. And let's say player 2 has scored 20 runs and his name is B. So since these variables are not static, this runs and name are created separate for p1 and separate for p2. So now let me give an example for a static variable. So if I declare a variable as static, so let's say total runs. So I have created a integer which is going to be total runs. So static integer total runs equal to 0. Now this total runs does not belong to p1 or p2. So this static int total runs is not separate for p1 and p2. This is shared between p1 and p2. So let me repeat. So this we have total runs. So this is not separate for p1 and p2. Both of them will share a single variable which is going to be total runs. So what this total runs will let us do, this total runs, since it is static, we need not use p1 or p2, right? I can directly call this variable and I can store the runs of the team inside this. So I can say p1 runs plus p2 dot runs, and let me just print it out. So you see the output is 30. So this total runs is a static variable which does not belong to p1 or p2. So as I mentioned earlier, it does not belong to the instance of a class. It will belong directly to the class. Since it belongs directly to the class and we are inside this class, we need not create an object p1 or p2 or any object of cricket class to access it. We can directly access this as I have shown here.